Sitting around darkness and gloom. Pretty soon you two get sound like a boss. What can you do? Clean out the tomb. What can you do? Sitting around darkness and gloom. Pretty soon you two get sound like a boss. What can you do? Clean out the tomb. What can you do? Sitting around darkness and gloom. Pretty soon you two can tell me like a boss. What can you do? Clean up the tomb. What can you do? Sitting around darkness and gloom. Pretty soon you two can tell me like a what can you do? Clean up the tomb. What can you do? Sitting around darkness and gloom. Pretty soon you two can tell me like a boss. What can you do? Clean up the tomb. What can you do? Sitting around darkness and gloom. Pretty soon you two can tell me like a boss. What can you do? Clean up the tomb. What can you do? Sitting around
Oh my gosh. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, guys, I apologize. It's a little bit of a delay, but hopefully you can follow me. Follow me. Okay, so I just want to check and make sure that you can see me. Yes, yeah. Oops. And you probably didn't even hear it because I had on Chris, darn it. Sorry about that. That means I got to play it again because you didn't even hear it because I had Chris on. I got to stop that, right? So let me go back for a second because anyway, hi guys, Zoom Queen here. I'm a little delayed, so I apologize. It's Ecamm and Zoom don't want to talk to each other, but it happens like that. So hopefully you guys can still follow me. But you'll hear my song at the end. So I apologize if it sounded weird at the beginning because I forgot to turn off a special microphone. I tell you, this Zoom thing, right? Anyway, I got some juicy stuff to talk about today. Tell me hi, how the heck are you doing? Guys, I got something big I'm gonna share. Oh my goodness. I think it's big to me, right? That I'm gonna share in a few minutes. So come in, get your pen and paper. You know I always share something very interesting. And today I'm keeping it simple, yet impactful and important. You'd be really, really, really surprised. First things first, if you're not on my text list, get your butt over there. All you got to do is just text me what you're interested in. You can say Zoom Queen tips. You can say, I want to know where you got that cute blouse from. And then just text the number. It doesn't matter. As long as you text it to that number, you're all good. Okay. Make sure you do that. So now let me go. I'm going to do this 1 second. This is how it sounds. Okay, so you heard that earlier, and I'm aware that it's delayed. My apologies. Okay, good. All right, so what is it that I want to talk about? Is so many things. So many things. Oh my goodness. First of all, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Tuesdays are very interesting to me because I feel like I got a second chance to start off the week right. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that feels that way, right? Okay, so here is the few, and guys, I literally wrote out what I want to talk about because there's so many things. So I wanted to stay organized. I didn't want my ADHD brain to take over. I want the more left brain to take over. Okay, so the very first thing I want to tell you about is number one, I need you to save the date. You may say, well, when should I save the date, Marquesa? Save the date. I know you're like, you always get me to save the dates. Are you serious this time? I am serious this time. I'm so serious that I can show you if you go to zoomqueen.com, but the date is August the 24th because that will be a date where you can get the Zap Pad at a ridiculous price. Yep. I did this before. So you can get the Zap Pad at a really cool price on August the 24th. And I'm going to do something live on that day too. All right. I just want to make sure. And it's on a Tuesday, so I'm going to go live that day, which would be perfect. You want to be around that day, even if you already have a Zap Pad and you're like, I already got one, I'm good. You still want to be around because there is something that I didn't even realize that you can do with the Zap Pad that's gonna freak you out. It's so amazing. And if you present on Zoom, you want to know how to do this. So if some of you are like, what is she talking about, Zap Pad? That's what this is right here. Yeah, it's literally like a remote control for Zoom. You can do everything on here. Screen grab, I mean, start the meeting, mute the meeting, you can do whatever you want on this little thing. It's amazing. But if you do it now, you're not going to get the discount. So just make sure you put that date down. Tell your mama, your sister, your brother, your cousin, everyone. It's August the 24th. So I wanted you guys to know about that. All right. Something else too, this Thursday. Now, why is this Thursday so important? This Thursday, 7 p.m., Club ZQ. One of my good friends. This is one of my best friends. We've known each other for years. Brilliant professional speaker. You want to meet her. She is a Zoom also master, and she's going to come in, and you'll be surprised when you see who it is. You'll be like, oh my God, that's so cool. Anyway, she's going to come in and talk about how to get that DSLR look whenever you Zoom. So if you want that, I don't even have that look, guys. So I can't wait to hear from her. It's that crystallized TV look. You know what I'm saying? Like, woo, she in front of a professional camera look. Yeah, she's going to talk about that this Thursday. And you're going to be shocked because you can get the DSLR look without the DSLR price. I hope I'm saying those letters right. DSLR. Yes. If you Google it, it just means high intense, high resolution, the best TV resolution type of look, if that makes sense. And if you want to get it on Zoom, she's going to talk about it and you're going to be shocked, like shocked that you don't have to spend any money to do it. I was like, girl, please get out of here. And then she showed me and I was like, whoa, I didn't realize it. So I'm going to let her explain it. She'll do it much better than I do. So come in. And then the second thing is, I don't know if you guys use Prezi. A lot of people use Prezi when they speak. She's going to talk about Prezi in Zoom. So you want to be there. Now, I know some of you are going, Marquessa, doesn't it cost money? I got to come to Club ZQ. It costs money, but guess what? I'm giving you guys $50 off. So just go to zoomqueen.com, page down the Club ZQ, click there, you see the $50 off. That is temporary. So don't say I didn't tell you. So make sure you check that out because I would love to see you in the house on Thursday. All right, here's something else before I get into the juice of today. You know, the juice. Why do we say that? Why do we say the juice instead of the steak? Because I'm more of a meat person than I am a juice person. But people say, let me get into the juice. No, they say, let me get into the tea. And that really is strange to me because I don't even like tea. Like if you say, let's get into the steak, I'm going to listen because I like steak, right? Or let's get into the lobster. You know, I don't know where some of these sayings come up. They make absolutely no sense. So anyway, I'm going to get into the steak and lobster, also known as the tea, about something. And that is my commercial. Some of you have seen it. Some of you don't even believe me. You're like, girl, please. And then some of you have seen it based on a link that I sent you. So here's the deal. This is what I'm going to do. There are two different versions. No one except my parents have seen both versions. And there's a method to the madness here. So something I'm going to do so that you know that it's real is if you also go to zoomqueen.com, let me see the date here. The date is, what date did I choose? Not this Thursday, which is Club ZQ, but next Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. The link is in zoomqueen.com. So you got to click where it says Marquessa debut commercial. It's absolutely free, of course. I want you to come in. I'm going to show the versions of the commercial. And I'm also going to talk about what I'm talking about in the commercial, which people like beat me all over the head. Just to give you an example, some of my church members on Sunday saw the commercial. My pastor had texted me that she saw it on TV, but a lot of the church members hadn't seen it. So at the end of church during our fellowship hour, all via Zoom, I showed a little clip of the commercial. So they like the commercial, but they also like the product I was talking about, which is Tavala. And people still a little like, really? Tell me more about that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the product. I'm going to talk about little the story behind how that all came together, and just some whatever questions you guys may have. So if you want to come and see that, it's going to be next Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. You go to zoomqueen.com, page down, you'll see the link. You can register to come. It's free, only if you care. And you're like, you know what, she's getting on my nerves. I've been staring at commercials. I don't even like commercials, but I'm looking for your commercial and I can't find it. So if that's your situation, I got you covered, okay? So you don't have to worry about that. So please go to everything. I know you're like, really, Marquessa? Hey, Rakita, make sure you go into zoomqueen.com and the link is there. Woo! Yes! Here's another thing. Oh, no. Okay, so let me tell you my question to you. And again, I'm aware that it's delayed. My apologies. Or it's showing a delay. Here is a question that I did ask you guys. Are you using Zoom the best way? I didn't say the right way because I'm not here to judge you. I'm not saying the Marquessa way because I'm not here to boss you, but the best way. And what I mean by that is most of the individuals that either I serve, I collaborate with, that give a darn about Zoom the way that I do, tend to be people that want to grow their impact, their influence, and their income. This is why they use Zoom, right? Well, so here's my thought today about, are you using Zoom the right way? I got a message yesterday from a meeting planner and they said, hey, I want to meet with you to see if you're available on such and such date. Can we talk? So I said, sure. So I hopped on a Zoom with them late yesterday evening because that was the only time that I had open. So I got on Zoom with them. Wonderful person. I'm not gonna say who it is in the group or the place or anything. And I remember coming in and of course, you know, he told me everything that they were looking for, what they want me to talk about related to leveraging Zoom in business, that kind of thing. But here's the thing. He sent me a Zoom invite. Have you ever sent someone a Zoom invite, right? How do you send a Zoom invite, guys? Can you put it in the chat room? And I know my Zoom Star group, if you want to join it, go to zoomtogrow.com. I know they know the answer to this. They've heard me say it a million times. But for those of you that aren't in the Zoom group or don't know a whole lot about Zoom, how do you invite somebody to Zoom? I'll wait. How do you invite somebody to Zoom? I really want you to think about that question. How do you invite? And guys, I'm seeing you on the phone, seeing you in the chat. So go ahead and write it in there. If you're on my list, go ahead and text it to me. I want to know, how do you, I'm looking at my text messages to see my answers, but I'd love to know, how do you send an invite out for Zoom? So most people say, well, duh. I just use the link they give me, which is like zoom.us and a few digits after it. So yesterday, the meeting planner sent me that particular Zoom link. And I remember because we were texting each other, because with meeting planners, you know, I'll give them my direct text, not text list, but the direct text. And then, you know, especially if they ask for it, and then we'll text a little bit. So until it's loud here, be quiet, New York. So loud here sometimes. Anyway, so we were texting back and forth and I was in meetings all day and presenting. So I couldn't quite, you know, put it on a calendar and all that administrative stuff. So they sent me a link and the link was, it wasn't even zoom.us, guys. It was literally, here is my meeting number. And it was like 7 numbers and they texted to me. So I'm like, great. So of course I get on my laptop here and I look at my phone and I put in the meeting number. Now you're like, well, what's the big deal with that? The reason that I don't think that is the best way to send someone an invite to Zoom, and guys, listen to me, this is where the strategy comes in. The reason why this is not a good idea for this to be your invite to Zoom is because you're losing the opportunity to share your brand. So if you're McDonald's, right? So say that that's your brand, then why aren't you using the brand inside of Zoom, McDonald's? Or if your brand is Zoom Queen, why not use the brand Zoom Queen inside of Zoom? What if your brand is, I don't know, the Rockettes? I know some Rockettes, right? The Rockette. Because Rockettes give dance classes and all that, but I go see their show every year, excluding the pandemic, right? So I know one of the Rockettes, and I can't kick like her or anything like that, sweetheart. But anyway, part of how she leverages being a Rockette, especially during the pandemic when the Rockettes weren't at Rockefeller Center doing what they do, she decided, hey, I'm going to, do some dance classes because people want to know how to dance. So of course she did it via Zoom. Wouldn't it be cool if she could type in Rockette? So you may say, okay, Marquessa, I'm completely lost now. What are you talking about? If you go into your back end of Zoom, you go into your profile, right where your meeting ID is, you're able to customize your link and give it a name. And I know before you say it, some people will give it a telephone number. I don't remember people's telephone number. Okay, the only telephone number I know by heart is my own and the house I grew up in. I don't know my mom's cell phone, and I'm on the phone with her all the time. I don't know my dad's cell phone. I don't remember people's numbers. So what makes you think somebody's going to remember your number? So I really don't think that that's a good strategy. That's just my opinion. I want something that's easy to remember and it's impressive. So one of the things, and it was okay for me to say this to the meeting planner because they were bringing me in to talk about leveraging Zoom anyway. But I said, hey, I noticed you sent me 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8, whatever. And I had to kind of do this and all that kind of stuff. A better way of using Zoom is to put your brand in there. And so this is 2 ways, guys. So follow me. You go into your Zoom profile, and right where meeting ID is, there's a little blank behind it. And right behind it, you're able to put whatever brand name you want to. You'll be the only person known as that in the Zoom world. And so what happens is Zoom will still give you a lovely link, right? That now people can now just use that word and get into your Zoom. So I know you're like, well, okay, Marquessa, let's pretend like the word is Rockette, right? So how can, and that's not her meeting room name, but let's assume that's the meeting room name, right? And this is your personal meeting ID. This does not include a special webinar or anything like that, or a special unique meeting. This is just your normal personal meeting room, which every paid user of Zoom has, okay? Now, I'll tell you another thing you've got to think about, but I want to just finish this out. A person can also come directly into your room with that name that's branded in Zoom by going to zoom.us and right in the top, it says to join a meeting. They would click it. It says, do you want to put in the meeting name or the meeting number? So of course, if they put in the word Rockette, then it's going to bring them right into your meeting room. Okay. You get it? So it's just from a branding standpoint, not just branding, just for usability, it makes it easy for me, right? Easy wheezy. And I do a few other things, but the simple part that I want to share with you is get in there and get your customized URL. And it's right behind the meeting room ID in the profile section of Zoom. So you may be saying, well, Marquessa, I'm in here. I don't see it. I don't see it. What you talking about? You do need, and I thought, because I have not been on Zoom Pro in like a gazillion years, somebody can let me know in chat, but I do believe that you have to have Zoom Enterprise to do the customized thing. I'm not sure. Okay. So if you want Zoom Enterprise, whether you get it somewhere else or get it through me, go to zoom2income.com or just go straight to zoomqueen.com and the link is there. Okay. So I think you can do it with Pro, but I don't remember, but I know you can do it with Enterprise. Okay. The highest level of Zoom for little to nothing. So that's one of the things that I want to talk about. Here's another. I got a call earlier not earlier this week, last week. I remember, I think it was Thursday that we met from a media place. And they wanted to talk to me about something that they're considering me for, right? And when she emailed me, she says, "Hi, can we talk over the phone?" Well, I'm kind of allergic to the phone. I really don't like the phone. I don't know why. I like to use the phone, but I don't like to talk on the phone. So anyway, well, what are you going to do? You have a media group calling you. You're not going to say, "Well, darn it, only meet me on Zoom." But I tried to nicely suggest, "Would you meet me on Zoom? Here is my Zoom room," because some people may not know how to send out an easy invitation. Well, get this. She says, "Oh no, I do these all day. I'd prefer to do it by phone." So I got on there by phone. So then she went on to ask me questions. And my questions, in order for her to see if I was a good fit, required me to kind of tell her a story, if that makes sense. So just imagine this. We're on the telephone, right? So she's asking me questions. So let's pretend. She's saying, "Marquesa, I'm trying to use an example that has nothing to do with this. Oh, Marquesa, why do you like all these different glasses? I mean, are they prescribed or not? Why do you wear these things? Don't you have one pair or whatever?" So then I may respond with, "I wear these because I'm nearsighted, and these are readers, but they're just, a lot of companies come out with all these beautiful readers. And I like peepers at peepers.com. And I love to use these kind of, because it matches my outfit or my personality. And I just can't see." Okay. I have on contacts behind it, and I can see without it, just not as well. So you can imagine me telling her a story such as this over the phone. The entire time, guys, she's writing down all this stuff. Pause. What was that? Pause. What was that? I'm sorry. What did you say there? It was ruining my story. And I'm up here like, I don't know what I said. And I was not happy that I had to try to go back and remember my story. You guys follow me. She wasn't using Zoom the best way. So of course, after our interview, I said it. And again, these people don't know me through as a Zoom queen. They know me a different way. So I said to her, "Zoom will make it easier for you to interview people, for you to take notes." And she was like, "How? What do you mean? I would still get on Zoom and still have to take notes." I said, "No, you don't. You do not. You just hit record and Zoom will transcribe it for you." "Really?" "Yeah. They'll transcribe it for you, because some people will record it, but sometimes we don't always want to watch recordings, right? So Zoom will transcribe it for you. And here's something else that Zoom will do that just dropped. Zoom would also do something called highlights. Highlights. You got to go into your back end and in your settings, click highlights, but I'll talk about that another time. It means that they will highlight certain words. So for example, let's assume she wanted to know, every time I mentioned the word glasses or readers, she wanted that particular highlight to come up. Well, let Zoom transcribe it, right? Turn it on to the highlight mode. Zoom will highlight anything that says readers. Boom. So I'm up here thinking, "How many of these are you doing?" She says, "Well, Marquesa, I got about 5 more people to go." And I spoke to 3 other people. And I'm thinking, that's a lot of work. You got to scribble. And I don't know about you, but I can't even read my own writing. Anybody like me? I cannot read my own writing. So I'm just thinking, and I can't type that fast. And here's something else. And this is true, guys. This comes from the dictionary of communication. I'm just using that as a metaphor. It's difficult to listen and write at the same time. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever take notes, right? And believe it or not, as you're in the mode of writing, you're not listening to what that person is saying. So you're missing potentially critical parts of that. So you get my point, right? So again, leverage Zoom, let Zoom do the work. Okay. So you definitely need Zoom Enterprise to use the transcription, but do it. And by the way, you can use transcription with Zoom Pro. You just have to pay extra money for it, okay? And it can get very expensive. So that's why I recommend Zoom Enterprise, which again, go to zoomtoincome.com and you can see it there. This reminds me of, and I have a lot of fellow speakers that will listen to me. And some of you guys were in Vegas. Was that last month? Oh my goodness, I feel like it was a year ago. It feels so long ago. Where I was in Vegas the second weekend, I think in July. I was there for a week, part business, part personal. And one of the speakers that I heard was my good friend, Dr. Jim. Oh my goodness, y'all. He blew us away. I have on two different hats when I'm watching speakers. I have on the hat that says, I want to learn, I want to be inspired, I want to take it in. And then the other hat is, I'm a professional speaker. What they doing? What they doing? Now, let me check them out, see what they're doing. So I got two hats going on, right? I'm watching Jim kill it. I mean, I'm watching him just blow everybody away. And what's interesting is Jim is an African-American speaker. And I think he was one of the last speakers at the conference. And this is our first time getting together since the George Floyd situation happened and a lot of other things. And so, you know, you're wondering, oh my gosh, I wonder if Jim is going to talk about that and what's going to go on. Guys, he was brilliant. One of my good friends, Anne, actually said, and I wrote it down because I didn't want to get it wrong. Let me just see. It's something that Anne said, who was also part of this. And let me just go to it because I want to get it right. Anne said, her name is Anne McNeil. She said, he spoke to everyone without speaking to one person individually. He spoke to everyone without speaking to one person individually. So why am I sharing this with you? What does this have to do with Zoom? When he was talking, I always ask myself, what action am I going to take based on what I just heard? Or am I just watching it fully for entertainment? It may be the way he moved. It may be the way he pronounced the word. It may be the way he told the story, whatever. It may be advice that he gave. I'm like, oh, that's good. I want to take notes, right? So I can take action. Two things. If I'm writing the notes, I can't listen. So you may say, oh, so Marquessa, if I'm sitting in an audience and someone is speaking, Zoom can't take notes for me. That is not true. Zoom can take notes for you. You're going to pull out your smartphone, this little thing here. You're going to go to it. You're going to go to the Zoom app. We've talked about this before. Go to the App Store, download the Zoom app, and there is something, and you click those three dots and you hit record, and it will also transcribe. And you just put it there. Now, I want to be careful. You may say, wait a minute, you're telling us to record somebody's speech. Don't put on the yeah, this is the transcription I'm trying to get you, just the transcription part. You can, you know, and hello, people know the deal. So I just want to be careful because some of my colleagues are going to be like, I can't believe you're telling people to record the speeches. From a transcription standpoint, I don't really want the entire speech because I don't want to have to listen to it and find it. But if I feel like, and oftentimes, guys, to be fair, these speeches are really short. They're like 15 minutes, 20, 25 minutes, maybe 40 minutes max. So I will literally pull out my smartphone, right? Record it, let it get transcribed so I can remember specific words that he said. So again, that transcription is everything. It really is. It saves you time. It increases your productivity so you can focus on what's important. All right. So again, my question is, are you using Zoom the best way? If I've just shared with you these ways of using Zoom and you're not using it, then what are you doing? Okay. So again, for references, all that good stuff, or the exact tool, go to zoomqueen.com and just check out those links and you can see it. Now, it's 2:30, so I want to make sure I stay on time. One other thing I wanted to mention to you is another date for you, but this date again is also another date for you, which is, what's the date? It is the last Friday of the month, which is August the 27th. I think it's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern, the last Friday of the month, which is August 27th, is going to be 2 p.m. Eastern. I am going to break down, my members have been asking me for this for a while now, why you want to understand how to leverage Zoom's second biggest platform. Now, the most used platform on Zoom, of course, is Zoom meetings. That's what I'm using right now, right? Zoom meetings, because you see everybody's face, right? But the second most used platform, and really, to be honest with you, the one that's the most, that gives you the most options, control, and experience for your attendees is called Zoom Webinar. And to be clear, you do not need, it's not just meant for webinars, it's meant for all sorts of things. Talk about office hours. Do you ever hold office hours? Do you ever have things where you need people to enter and leave at a certain time? Enter and leave. Now, here's a quick little thing, and I may go a few minutes over, so stay with me. Let's assume you wanted to do frequently, let's say I did frequently asked questions, or ask Zoom Queen your question. I've been known to do that. Ask Zoom Queen your question. This is what I do, because I'm all about leveraging my time and leveraging Zoom. So instead of me hopping on the phone and replying to everybody's email, that's a lot of time and energy. You know what I do instead? And I get questions all the time. On occasion, I'll do this, and I'll do this especially with my members. I'll say, meet me, let's make up a date on August the 20th. I'm making this up. Meet me on August the 20th from 2 to 4. I'm going to hold the office hours. Here's the deal. One person at a time will be sitting in the I have a question for Zoom Queen chair. And I'm going to completely focus on them and kind of explain to them what to do. Here's the thing. They may ask a question that you didn't even know you had, or wasn't on your radar, or maybe you had the same question. But I don't want you to be a distraction to that person. I don't want that person to feel self-conscious. They are aware that they're being, that other people are watching, but I don't want that person, I don't want the other people to be a distraction. So that's why I use Zoom Webinar. I'm already giving you one of the tips away, because now I can bring that person in, answer their question, record it, transcribe it, all that good stuff. And then the audience who you couldn't see or hear, they're watching me answer that question. And then I go to the next person and I promote them up and then promote the other person out. You get the deal. So when I do office hours, my members love that. They love it. So that's an example of leveraging Zoom webinar platform versus Zoom meeting. So if you're like, oh my God, I never heard of Zoom webinar. What is this thing? Tell me more about it. You want to go to zoomqueen.com. And there's a link that says Zoom webinar. If you are not a member, if you're not a Zoom Enterprise member or a Club ZQ member or Crystallized members, I have a lot of different members types under me. If you're not one of those, if you're one of those members, let's be clear, you get to come to this for free. If you're not a member, I love you too, but at a very low cost, I am going to charge you a fee because that is a member benefit. So if you go to zoomqueen.com, you'll see something that says how to up level on Zoom webinar. Sign up. Again, that's going to be August the 27th, 2 p.m. Eastern. Whew, so that was a lot. Yes, yes, yes. So in review, Zappad Day. This where you at, girl? Where you at? Boom. Right? I know I got to get the nails done. Don't judge. Don't judge. Anyway, Zappad Day is taking place on August the 24th. And by the way, I do have a global calendar in case you're like, girl, please, can't nobody remember all of these notes? If you go to, I got yet another site, right? Actually, you know what? If I don't have it there, I'm going to create a link in Zoom Queen that's going to say Marquessa's calendar, because it's already created, but I don't want you to have to go somewhere to look at it. So just go to zoomqueen.com. Give me about not even 5 minutes after I get off of here, and I'll add the link there. You can look at the calendar. If you're ever like, Marquessa, I just need to see the calendar, just go to zoomqueen.com and you can see those quick links. And then you can see all these dates, because it's got to be confusing to remember them. Anyway, August the 24th, save the date, is going to be Zappad Day. And I'm going to share a huge tip that you may didn't know that you can do with this pretty thing. Okay. And you're going to get it at a wonderful price. If you even care a little bit about seeing some versions of my commercial that's on national TV, social as well as digital. And if you're like, I want to see this commercial and you want to hear a little bit more about the product that I'm talking about, It's not my product, but it's, I talk about it in the commercial, and people have been asking me about it because, it's got something to do with food. So people want to know. My church held me, guys. Oh, this is how it goes. I'm not just trying to share some shoulder. Anyway, my church held me hostage on Sunday to explain to them this tool. Part of me wanted to go, wait a minute, forget about the thing in the commercial. What about me? They were like, Marquessa, tell us about the product. It was hilarious. So, and some of my fellow speakers are the same. They're like, whatever, we want to know about the product. So I want to answer the question one time. So if you want to hear a little bit about the product, a little bit about my experience with the commercial, how it all happened, all that good stuff, there's a link where you can register at zoomqueen.com, and it says Marquessa's commercial debut. So I would love that. I'd love if you celebrate with me, and it's gonna be, and I know you're gonna be like, Marquessa, is your commercial, ain't your commercial like 30 seconds? Like, really? But again, it's, I'm gonna talk about other things, and then if we end soon, that's great. But it's gonna be not this Thursday, but next Thursday, I think 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm gonna do that. Okay, and then what else? Don't forget Club ZQ, $50 off of it. You want to be there this Thursday. Plus, in 2 more weeks, you can ask me whatever question you want. So you want to go to that. Let's see. Oh, and I think that's it. I think I'm done. Whew. So I went about 7 minutes over. Thank you for being here. I so appreciate you. This is Zoom Queen out of New York City. And it just warms my heart to share with you Zoom World. Because I don't just use Zoom to meet people on it. I like that, but no, I use Zoom as a huge resource in my business. And I want you to do the same. I want you to impact people. I want you to influence people. And I want you to up level your income if that's what you want to do. All right. Okay, guys, I'll see you later. So this time you'll hear the music correctly if you didn't hear it last time. See you guys next time. Bye.
How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom? You're the tool the end that is profit and loss. And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. What can you do this once you use the queen of the zoom? How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom? You're the tool the end that is profit and loss. And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. What can you do this once you use the queen of the zoom? How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom? You're the tool the end that is profit and loss. And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. What can you do this once you use the queen of the zoom? How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom? You're the tool the end that is profit and loss. And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. What can you do this once you use the queen of the zoom? How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom? You're the tool the end that is profit and loss. And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. What can you do this once you use the queen of the zoom? How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom? You're the tool the end that is profit and loss. And pretty soon you two can zoom like a boss. What can you do this once you use the queen of the zoom? How can you turn this thing around from darkness and gloom? You're the tool the end that is